Good afternoon, everybody. I am the Mountain King, and this message comes to you directly from my Dwarf-Hold SDF. This one's for you. I'm coming to you in peace. I'm not going to antagonize you or be overtly disparaging to you. I want you to hear me out. I want you to want to hear me out. And I and the community, we've noticed how you're very particular with who you parlay with, who you decide to listen to, talk to, get in the chats of. And because of that, I'm not going to be overtly critical, directly, indirectly, or otherwise. It's going to be entirely constructive what I'm about to talk about, because we can't really afford any more lapses in communication, I think. So I hope this video finds you well and you can spare the time to listen to me. I want to start off by naming three of the people that have inspired me to finally leave my mountain and not just hold the line, but bolster it. Wrath of Koopa, OnePeg, Ryan 6 days a week. You have made a great impact, not only on this community, but me personally. And I want to talk about each one of you, why you've brought me out of my shell, so to speak, and make this video. So, Wrath of Koopa, I think you're a really analytical individual. You're clearly highly qualified, and I think your opinions are logical. I think your arguments make sense. I tend to agree with you on pretty much everything that you say, and when you do post, I jump right on it. I'm watching you whenever it happens. I wish you posted more, but I understand a man of your caliber is definitely busy. Um, One peg, newsy news. I think what inspires me the most about you is you're a really devoted father. Uh, but more than that, I think your ability to outreach to the community that you clearly care about, be it for Tarkov, be it for um, Darker and Darker, the subject of this video, or any other game that your sphere is quickly expanding into, even the documentaries that you're moving into. I think you're going to be well equipped, and I'll be watching you until you stop. Ryan 6 days a week. Uh, it used to be scary going into the Inferno until you found out how to dodge everything. Uh, and besides that, you've built up a lot of goodwill, and it's clear the community listens to you. Your video about what the community thinks based off your poll that I voted in, and I'm sure you've asked a bunch of people in your chats and what have you. And then your other video, I think the other day, about what the creators think. I was up all night listening to that. That really pushed me over the edge to make this video. So I just want to thank you guys for um, helping bolster the community in its infancy, nurturing it, and keeping it strong. You guys are really, I think you guys might be the brains and heart of this whole endeavor. So thank you very much for what you do. Um, what you'll be watching throughout this monologue will be some of the little footage I have recorded this game, because I don't record too much, but it's from when Goblin Caves was 3x3 and solos only, when every drop was gray and geared barbarians like myself back then ran everyone down with hatchets and horseman's axes. I hope you enjoy. While that plays, I'll talk to you about my qualifications, because this is my first video, and I'm going to take a page out of Wrath of Koopa's book, talking about how he was qualified in one of his first entries. So, baseline, I played Dark and Darker since its first playtest. Every module, every class, every comp, every monster, every tier of dungeon from High Roller to 0 to 24. I've done everything. I've happily given thousands of hours to this piece of art. And I even went through the hassle of torrenting the launcher back during the dark ages. I'm sure some of you guys remember that. I've been a staunch supporter. SDF, I've been letting you cook even when I didn't want you to. I have perspective as well. I've spoken to and listened to this community. I've sharpened dwarven instincts, so you know that I'm like set. So you also have some of my hard-earned gold from my treasury in your pocket, SDF. I've bought Legendary Edition, Hold the Line, and I've even gotten a few red shards for some skins. I'm a true believer, and I want to elevate us above the competition that I promise you is encroaching upon your brilliant idea. I have generous experience in creative development of many projects, including my own. So I think I'm qualified to assist you directly if you so desire. We'll get more into that later. Of lesser importance, I'm moderately educated. I've served in leadership, but more importantly, followership roles. Much like you, SDF, I know what it is to have a vision and the work it takes to have it executed without being diluted, but I also know what it is to support the vision of others. All right. I know that you're not going to step down from your position. I've seen the comments, I've seen the videos, I've even seen the petitions to remove you as lead on the project. I know you're not going to do that. This is your baby. When everything's said and done, at the end of the day, when people are complaining about this, that, or the other, balance, lack of content, dead lobbies, any other gripe that they happen to have, and that criticism lands on you more often than not. Thus is the burden of leadership. The buck stops with you. But I think in the more extreme circumstances, when people are just asking for you to get out of the way, I think they'll understand that like the reason you don't isn't just like a business question. It's also like a question of protecting something that you made, and I think we can work with that. That's what I'll get into my second topic. It's what I see for you. To be frank, I think it's a lot of work. You have bills to pay, and large corporations are unkind when it comes to juicing smaller companies than themselves because big corporations are simply not making enough money ever. You've needed to resort to measures that upset many in order to keep afloat. Seasonal access to bag space and uh, auction house tabs that we had before, selling those back to us. Maybe that wasn't the best choice. You're not going to please everyone, and I don't think it's the perfect solution, but I don't see malice in the choice. I think you guys, like I said, have bills to pay. Things needed to happen. You needed to get revenue somehow, and that was a way to do it. I don't see it as some kind of super aggressive cash grab for the sake of cash grab. Might be I think it's easily interpreted as like thrashing desperation in the face of having to owe so much money, and having a clear decline in population. Like you have to get the money somehow. I get it. Okay, it's not perfect. I don't personally like it, but I understand why you did it. Okay. I think another issue is you're gathering clay to your table without molding what you already have. There's so many perks, so many potential really good things that you could do that I see, like uh, talent tree. I mean, I have the talent trees written down in a notebook here, like what would be the best way to do it, in my opinion. Spells, abilities, remodeling what we already have. Like I said, perks, different weapons, reposting. I mean, the list goes on. I won't belabor it, but I believe sharpening your blade will serve you better over forging more filigree or adding a new pommel. I know that's like a medieval sword analogy or metaphor or whatever, but this is a medieval extraction game, so I thought that would be fun, so I wrote it down. Um, let's see. I respectfully advise you, in the face of issues that I'll list or the ones I've already listed, that you utilize your extremely talented team. Um, Currently, you're the end all on all decisions in Ironmace, I think, and uh, it's a stress that your mandatory military training in South Korea definitely taught you is not one that you need, not only for a logistical standpoint, but a logical one. Your many talents, I think, SDF, are best utilized being recycled back into the creative process instead of idling at the top, gatekeeping what goes into the next patch. Please remember that indecision is death, okay? Going back and forth, twisting dials to and fro, changes here, there, +3 weapon damage on axes, +5, +3, 0.75 spell power bonus, 100% spell power bonus, +3 all, +5 all, +3 all, plus all on different pieces over jewelry. Um, I think it's just, I think that's another big. That's one of the two major issues that I see. That and low population. I think there's way too many queues. A good source who talks about this a lot is Todd Father, Toddy. You can definitely reference him. He has good opinions on this, and I think he has a plan for it that would definitely be good to implement and definitely would be acceptable to pass off as your own idea when you implement it and reap the success. I think people don't care about credit; they just want this game to be good and have fun playing it again. So, all right, I'm almost done. Finally, uh, I've elected to take a more active role in the game's future. So SDF, I'm always looking for an opportunity to flex my creativity, and nothing inspires me more than Dark and Darker. I have a similar offer to that of Wrath of Koopa. Take me on board the team. All right, my rate is fair, and I can guarantee this game will shine like never before. In the meantime, I'll use this channel to keep in touch with folks, post here and there, And I mean, I'll just call it free consultation. Just vote, post ideas, super easy changes that need to be done in order to make the game better. So with that, I finally want to leave off on a subject that's important to us dwarves, which is legacy. SDF from the beginning, you fostered goodwill and a fanatical following to this prime example of lightning in a bottle. Your story should and deserves to be the man who made magic, fought a giant to keep it, and changed the extraction genre forever with a game that dominates its competition for years to come. All of this while keeping a bowl cut in 2025. We came to a point. We've come to a point where pride and stagnation have led to like abandonment by even our most devout in the community. So I think you deserve to be remembered fondly for what you've made. Please consider placing more trust in your circle, giving your qualified individuals, Terry, for instance, more say, more of an active role, or even add me to your circle, and I promise you'll have a legacy worth celebrating. So thank you very much for your time, everybody. Mountain King.